Do you think there's a lot of girls that watch this?
Probably not, bro. Probably not,
Why? Because we don't talk about any girly stuff. Should we bring a girl on at some point? Or do you think that's like against code?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, yeah. Who would you bring on?
I don't know. I mean, I would just go to who I follow and fucking and look. That's literally
Let's
what I
see
would
who I
do.
follow here. Let's
Yeah, let
check
me
the
see,
follow list.
let me see what girls I follow. Be like, hey, you want to come on the podcast? But it would have to be like like a no
It
hold
would have
bar
to be like a
conversation.
bro, though. I
Yeah, that's
feel
what I'm
like,
saying. Like we're not. I'm not holding my tongue because there's a girl on. Like that's there's
yeah,
got
it
to be.
has to be a bro that's cool with bro shit.
Let us know down in the comments if we should bring La Chicas on. I think it'd be kind of fucking funny, to be honest with you.
I think it would be
La
hilarious.
Richa.
I would. We could ask them a bunch of dirty questions.
Yeah, but do you think they'd give you? Do you think that a girl would give you an honest answer, or do you think they'd give you the answer you want to hear because they're trying to be like in with the dudes on the podcast, or do you think they shoot you straight?
I think some girls would shoot it straight.
Yeah,
I definitely think some girls would definitely. I'm sure there's some that like you could tell they're bullshitting, right? Like, yeah, bullshit.
yeah.
And then
You
there's
actually
some that
can.
you'll be like, there's some I'll be like, I believe you. I actually believe you.
We should start bringing exes on if you want to really get views.
Oh, we probably get banned. We get
Could
banned
you
from fucking
imagine?
YouTube.
Oh my God. We definitely got to do an episode with a girl, and then we definitely got to do or we could have two girls on, so it's like two and two.
We could do that.
So the girl has somebody to be on her
Feel a
defense
little
with.
comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking little XY chromosomes. Um, and then we should do one with our either mom or dads one day. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
I'm down for that one.
Because then all the real truths come out.
I'm
Can't
not.
hide
I'm not
behind.
down. I'm not. I'm not down anymore. I'm not down. I changed my mind. I changed my mind.
That was a real quick change of heart, huh?
I think I might skip that one.
I wonder why, Nick.
My mom's
Wonder
got stories for days, bro.
your mom don't give a shit.
Zero fucks. Zero fucks
See how
given.
my eyes look? Did you see that thing I got done with my eyes? See, my eyes look like squinty. You saw that thing on
Yeah,
my
you said
story the other
because
day?
when you got the laser, they've been dry as shit, right?
Yeah, 2013, 2 weeks out from the Olympia. I was married at the time.
Yeah.
So my wife at the time got LASIK eye surgery, and then the following day I got it. So I guess there's like two different type of procedures. One where they like laser and they like cut the flap of your eye and then
Yeah.
like do the laser treatment right on the cornea and then pull the flap back. And I guess because I
Right.
had astigmatism in each eye, they just did it right on the top. So
Okay.
my recovery was about 6 months. Like my wife at the time, she saw 2020 the next day. I wasn't 2020 until 6 months after, and I was really sensitive to light, and I had awful dry eyes. And ever once I hit
Six
like the
months.
yeah, and once I hit like the 10-year mark, my eyes been getting so dry, and like that's why
Is
when I'm
that
on
something
these,
you got to do again, or is it like a one-time procedure?
they said you usually have to do a touch up like after year 10, but my vision's fine. Like I'm 2020, but my eyes just get fucking. I don't know if it's because I'm outside a lot or like today I was outside from 1 to 5 doing yard work, and I'm sure all that shit and pollen and dust and dirt. But I mean, my eyes are just fucking always dry, dude. It
I was
sucks.
after the Olympia or something. I was considering getting that done.
LASIK?
Yeah, because I don't like wearing glasses, and I can't touch my eyes with contacts. It makes me feel weird. So
Did you ever get because you have to go for like a consult to make sure that you're like
I didn't do that yet, but I was gonna go do one.
yeah. When I got it done in 2013, September 2013. It might have been August. I think we paid like $5,900 each. I think it was about 1,000 more, but I paid. He took 1,000 off. We paid cash, so we just paid cash.
Really?
It's
How
30
much was
seconds
it?
to 5,900.
Oh, it's not horrible.
No, it's either 5,900 or 4,900. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's literally you by the time you get into the room and get into the chair and lean back, you're out and in your car in 5 minutes.
That's it?
It's 30 seconds, maybe an eye.
Really?
They put these things on your eye, pull your eye open, tell you to stare at the light, and they say, don't blink. And then you hear a laser and it goes, and you actually smell. You can smell your eyeball burning.
You feel it? Do you feel it?
No, dude, you don't feel shit. Nothing.
I'm
It
like
feels,
so
it feels like somebody's
prone to
going
be
like this. It feels like somebody is going like this, like just tapping your eye.
I have such a fear of that though, because I'd be like trying to squint. I'm like,
No, you can't do that because that you can fuck
well,
up the
obviously.
surgery. No, but you can fuck the surgery up.
Really?
Yes.
They would have, honestly, because of how I'm very like weird about that shit. I think they would have to put me like they would have to give me some sleepy meds.
How they gonna do eye surgery sleeping?
But I think, I'm just asleep though, bro. Like what? That's not how it works.
You can't do LASIK. I'm 99% sure that I don't think
I'm gonna have when I go for my.
I'm gonna
consult,
check right
I'm like,
now. We're gonna check.
Can you knock me out or what?
You can see my screen, right? Right?
Put like laughing gas for laser eye surgery.
Can you get knocked out during?
That's such a blunt way to say it.
Maybe I shouldn't say knocked out.
Yeah, maybe like put to sleep.
Yeah.
Or sleepy meds.
Can you? Wow. Jesus.
I hate that shit.
Can they use?
Put you to sleep during laser eye surgery.
You'll stay awake during the procedure.
Fuck.
Hold on. Can I
Oh,
be put completely on the majority of people get laser eye surgery, stay awake during the procedure. The entire surgery usually takes less than 30 minutes. It takes fucking less than a minute. The actual laser procedure usually takes less than a minute per eye. See? Then they're okay, but the 20, okay. Anesthetic eye drops are preferred by surgeon over general anesthesia that puts you to sleep. According to ASA, general anesthesia has.
Yes, you can get a volume.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely. I'll definitely take a volume though.
They might give you something to relax you, but you don't feel it because your entire eyeball is fucking numb, dude.
I know, but like I'm very weird about eyes. I don't know why.
It was one of the best procedures that I had done because I had glasses from when I was a freshman in. Yeah, dude, I got pictures of me with glasses with Chris Aceto. I had glasses from 2000. No, sorry, 96. So the freshman in high school. 96 until 2013. It's a long fucking time to have glasses, dude. You never saw me with my glasses on?
I might have.
That was a good look.
Totally forget.
That was a good look. It was a good looking lad.
I do remember seeing that picture. You got low ass waist, bro.
Look at those spectacles. Those spectacles.
Titties. Look at them. Look at them fucking
Yeah, I got
spectacles.
no waist. Look at that waist.
Zero waist and a full chest. What show was this? You remember?
Yep, Chicago Pro. It was my first show I did with Aceto. He's wearing that.
Did you win or no?
Tricky Jackson got first. I don't want to get into that shit.
What'd you get?
Oh,
What'd you
second.
get?
Second.
Oh, you were second. Debatable, huh? It was one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those, qualify
Those are
for
always
Olympia versus not qualify versus points, who was going, who wasn't, who needed to go, who didn't, you know what I'm saying?
the
One of
fun shows.
one of those chess checker orange apple games.
Yeah, been there. Been there.
Speaking of games, this, however, isn't one. So no Mo HD, huh? Well, that's
You know what
lovely.
I'm saying? No, no more HD. No more HD for me.
Time to move on.
Unfortunately, it was, but yes,
You were with them for how long? About 2 years?
2 years. Yes, 2 years.
There's a lot of things going on, man. You got the Olympia coming up. Got a lot of things that couldn't happen, big decisions to be made. So obviously we're not gonna get into personal things about why you left, but obviously now that everybody knows you're not with HD, I'm sure your inbox of people reaching out because they're interested in Mutant on their supplement roster. I'm not looking for names, but what are kind of the things? Because like I told you on the phone, when you talked to me about HD, I said people are gonna fucking come at you in the beginning because it's gonna look like you jumped to another sponsor again. But you know, what attracts you to a sponsor that makes you want to be an athlete or be a part of the roster? Like, what are some of the key note things that you look at in a supplement company? Is it the athletes? Is it the owners? Is it the actual brand?
Owners definitely is a big one. Obviously, I think it's very important. You want to get to know and understand the people that are running the company, and see how they run things, see how they go about things, see how they approach things. And if it fits your standard, I mean, that's a good first step. And I think the brand itself, yes, I think it's important. You don't want to go with somebody, whether you get along with owners or not, but the brand, you just don't fit it.
Yeah.
If you don't fit it, you don't fit it. It doesn't make sense. You know, and obviously, like with HD, I did not, with things that happened was not, obviously I didn't want to walk away completely. Like I'm tired of switching companies, but at the end of the day, shit happens. You gotta do what's best for you.
Yep.
But owners is a big thing. Um, the brand, how they represent it, what it looks like, the direction they're going, obviously is a big role. And honestly, just getting other athletes' feedback of how they like the company, I think is big too. I don't see any issues with ever asking athletes that are on a certain brand that you're interested in, or that brand's interested in you, and getting solid feedback on it.
Have you ever been with a company where you might have liked them and the people, the staff, but you really didn't like their products? Or did you always like the products of the company you
No,
were with?
I made sure product was a big thing for me because, again, the reality is it's free subs, right? Like I don't want to be with a brand I don't like and then end up paying for subs that I like anyway. It's
Yeah.
just, it doesn't make sense. So for me, yeah, subs to supplements was a very, very big thing for me. If I liked it, that's why any company I ever talk to, I'm like, well, listen, let me try the shit first. I need to make sure I like it before this goes any further of a conversation.
Yeah.
And if I like it, and I'm not gonna try it for like a day or two and be like, oh yes, it's great. I'm gonna sit back, for a few weeks and consistently try it and see how things roll with it. And then if I like it,
Yeah.
then we can continue a conversation. And there's not a lot of companies do this, but there are a lot of company owners that I feel you'll get the package, and then like in a day or two, they're like, "How do you like it?" It's like, bro, like, can I get some days to try it? Can I get it? Can I breathe a little bit? And for me,
Yeah,
that's
you
a
have.
turn off. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't mind if they'll be like, "Hey, bro, like package was delivered, just making sure you got it." Yeah, sure, cool, done, bye. I don't want to be like interrogated every single day. Like, let me have the space, let me try it out. And trust me, I won't leave you hanging. I'll reach back out. If I like it, let's talk more. If I don't, I'll tell you, you know?
Yeah, I've always like if I've ever had was on the market for a sponsor, I always would get a bunch of products and I'd post them all on my story and give honest feedback.
Yeah.
Um, but it's hard. I know factual. Okay, I could probably name 10 people off the top of my head right now that are with supplement companies and use other supplement company stuff because they don't like the stuff from the current company they're with, but they collect a paycheck.
And see, and I don't like that. The only way I would ever use another company's product is if the company I'm with does not have that product.
You know who's big with that?
Who?
Roden. He would always fucking use everybody else's shit, bro. Yeah, I'd go to his house. He'd have like SciTech when he was at SciTech, but then he had like BSN and fucking for this protein and stacks of this protein and that. And I'm like, dude, do you just fucking go around begging for fucking protein? Like, you're
Yeah,
ridiculous. It were like he had like tons of other brands in his room.
that's awesome. Good for him.
So, not asking a direct question, but is there any brands that are in mind when thinking of the next move, or are you thinking about maybe waiting till after the O to kind of see what your market value is after that, or are you going to make a decision prior to?
There's definitely a few um, that I've been, in cahoots with a little bit.
That cahoots,
Cahoots.
that
I mean,
cahoots.
realistically, I'll probably make a decision probably before the Olympia.
Okay.
Whether whatever happens at the Olympia, I mean, yeah, I know my stock will go right back up again, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I like going into a show
Support.
representing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I personally just like doing that. And if things listen, if something doesn't work out and it doesn't happen that way, it's whatever. But if things
Yeah.
fall in line within a time frame and it works, then I'm like, fuck it, let's do it,
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I always enjoyed going to the O representing a brand because then you have you can have the expo time and you have like that team there with you. So that's always pretty cool. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'd want to get it done prior to the O. Speaking of the O, how come I see a lot of these fucking predictions and like you're sometimes in the top five and sometimes not? Like,
You know what, guy?
can I just wait, hold on, hold on, let me finish. Not only have you not proved your worth multiple
Over and
times,
over again.
I just don't like. So let me ask you a question. Why do you think they step back? You're not Nick Walker. Like, be realistic. Why do you think a lot of people are not having you in the top five? And I'm saying the only reason why I know this is because people keep DMing me. Can you believe so and so? Not that because I actually watch all this stuff.
I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why right now. And I'll probably get shit, but I don't give a fuck.
Tell me
Social,
why.
yeah, social media, bro. It's social media. I don't post photoshopped, filtered, best lighting, photos that everyone does. My photos that I post are in some shit lighting, right out of bed, how it really looks. So when you put my photos against people that have the, this huge pump, the best lighting going on over in this area, a little shadow of this good lighting popping down on this nipple over here, it's like, oh my God, look at him, but then when they see me on the stage, they're like, holy shit. And it's like, you would think people would take that into some consideration here, but they don't. So I just think it's funny that I always just shut everyone up time and time again. And for me, bro, this year will be no different. And I'll get a lot of shit for saying this too, but I don't give a fuck. If I was in Olympia last year, it would have been a different outcome, 1,000%. And this year, I'm going in with the same mindset. So it is what it is.
So you said two different things. Is it good? Is it just that great, perfect lighting? Or is it Photoshop? Because if it's Photoshop, I'm gonna have to look
I don't want to
harder
say
at these things.
Photoshop. I hope
Oh, okay,
nobody's
okay.
photoshopping.
Okay.
I'll backtrack and say filtering.
Or you mean filters?
Filters.
Okay.
Because listen, dude, I could have my camera guy after every workout find me the best lighting in the raw gym with the biggest pump and fucking take a million photos, filter that shit, and class them all every single day for a week straight. And everyone would be like, huh? But I don't do that because I'm not, that's just not me. Like, I'd rather post some real fucking
You just
raw
post,
shit.
you don't care. You don't care what the
I don't.
lighting is. You're just like, I'll take them here.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't go around looking for the best lighting. If it's okay lighting, then yeah, it works. Cool.
When you send pictures to Matt, is there an exact spot that you like to go? Or
Yes,
is there an
now
exact
there is.
spot that Matt wants you to go?
No. So we have found the spot in the raw gym. It's like in this corner somewhere where the lighting does directly hit. And that's where I'll send him the check-in photos every morning for the most part. And then if he poses me, in person, we go to that same spot, and he'll look at me in person right in that same spot.
So are you on daily check-ins already?
No, I do right
Oh,
now.
okay.
We check in Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Photos, and then once or twice a week, after I train, he'll come down from the office that's upstairs and he'll just look at me real quick. We'll go through a round or two, and
how's your food?
it's still decent. I mean, he did just drop it yesterday, but it's still a decent amount of food for me.
Are you eating up like you were at last year's Olympia? Like, because you were going to Barry's quite often last year for the last prep.
So I didn't start eating up like a lot of food, so it was like the 4 to 3 week out mark where every day it was just like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So right now, like my body weight is 275 this morning, but the composition is changing pretty drastically at this point. And he just looked at me, I think Monday actually, and he was very happy. So
what were you about in the hotel room when I saw you at the O last year? What do you think you were wearing?
at the O.
Yeah, at the O, when you're in the hotel room. I'm just trying to think of 275.
No, I think it was between 253 and 255.
Okay. So you're close.
Oh,
What were you at New York?
New York was 258. I want to say my goal for this Olympia, I would like to be exactly what I weighed at New York, if possible, and be just sharper. Just a lot sharper at that weight.
That full, that round, but just that
Sharper.
like a will dryer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a scary look.
I think that'll be fucking nuts in my opinion.
Okay, then question, would that be your best if that happens?
I would, yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, if my goal is, I think my favorite look, which I'm sure you can agree, and I'm sure everyone would agree, my personal favorite look was the Arnold that I won.
Yeah.
So if I can, and I would think I was I want to say like 246, 247 there.
I remember
So if I can
247.
somewhat, yeah, if I can somewhat replicate that look, but be, 10, 10, 11, 12, whatever it was, bigger, I just think that's just completely unfuckwithable. Like, you just can't fuck with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. The
So
only one
then,
that I think, again, the only one I think that could rival a package like that is Hadi. In my opinion, in my heart of heart, I think Hadi is probably, even though he didn't win last year, I think he's one of the best bodybuilder on stage. No one
so then what?
has, when Hadi's on, Hadi's fucking on, bro. And nobody, including myself, has the graininess that Hadi has. I'm right there. I'm right behind him, but that grainy and hard conditioning that Hadi has, no one really has that. And if he looks the way he did at the Arnold and somehow is even better for this Olympia, listen, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
So are you more worried about Hadi or Derek? Sounds like Hadi.
Hadi. Derek doesn't concern me.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Why doesn't Derek concern you?
I just think because like I said, I truly believe if I was in that Olympia last year, I would have won. That's as confident as I always am every year, and I said it time and time again. That last year before I got injured, like that, I was so fully focused. Like, yo, this is the year. Like,
You
I
looked
firmly
insane.
believe. I'm like, this is. I think this is gonna be the fucking one. But even then, I'm like, but if Hadi's in, Hadi's on. I was not, for some reason, and this is no disrespect because I think Derek is a phenomenal bodybuilder. I think Samson's a phenomenal bodybuilder, and everyone else in between. But they were just not my concern. I was always primarily focused on Hadi because I know when Hadi's 100% on, that's also just unfuckwithable. Like, you just can't fuck with it. Like, it's. And when he
So
presented what he looked at the Arnold in Ohio, and we saw it firsthand backstage, for fuck's sake, it's just like, it's insane. It's truly just insane.
yeah. So you,
And
Derek,
he still lives. And I like the way he lives, which I'm now starting to get back into it. And I love it. He still lives heavy as fuck, bro. And he does the compound shit. And listen, I love my machines. I will always do my machine. I think they're great. But I'm now starting to give back to doing just because you know what? I see some people in there, go really hard on like the deadlifts and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I missed that. Fuck, I missed pulling from the ground. I don't know if you saw it, but I just posted a video the other day. I did 495 for 6. The most I've ever done with that, I think, was like 10 to 12, but it was a little more sloppier than that. So I was actually happy with how I did that. But I'm like, that just felt so fucking good, man. Like, I out of like the
dude,
3 major lifts, like the bench, squat, and deadlift. Deadlift was my favorite by far. Squatting's fun, but like, for me, there was just something about fucking just picking some shit up off the ground and just slamming it back down.
see, my back was the first thing to get fucked up. So pulling from the ground was one of the first things that I slowly stopped doing. But I was, for some weird reason, I was always able to still squat. It was the pulling, like the compression, me squatting didn't bother my back. It was the bending and pull that just fucking
See
killed
that
my
I'm actually the
L4, L5.
opposite. I'll get it back from squatting before deadlifting.
No, see, my squat form, dude. I squatting like legs were my shit. Like I could go to town during leg day. Um,
I love it.
but so you, Hottie, Derek, Samson, Andrew, all at 100. Who wins?
That's my top 5. I actually had that, and that's spread all over every platform like wildfire.
Well,
My top 5. What you just said is exactly what I just said.
well, I'm saying if they all show up at 100, who wins?
See, how you were going to talk shit, because I'm going to say me without a doubt. It would be,
I know
in
what
my
I'm doing.
opinion. In my opinion, it would be between me and Hottie. I will stand on that.
What do you, well, let's
I
start
think me
backwards.
and Hottie, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think me and Hottie are the most complete, in my opinion, with the least amount of weaknesses.
Yes, because your weakness would only be you're not the prettiest. Because you really don't have, and you like they could say, oh, if his legs are flat, they look smaller than blah 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 blah. But to say you have a weakness besides it just being, you don't have a, people say a pretty shape or whatever because you have the freak factor. I could agree
But
with that
honestly,
because
even
Derek,
now,
yeah.
bro, I don't even think my physique is that ugly. You know, I just
Now,
don't.
hold on. You got to remember something. That is not what I'm not saying you have an ugly physique. I am
No, I know.
saying
I'm just
the
speaking in
general
general. Like when
public
people
will
say that,
feel.
I'm like, look, I know I'm not the most aesthetic. I know I don't have the most pleasing lines known to man, but like I have seen way uglier than me, bro. Like
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, what, like, and people want to get on it. I'm like, I said, I'm fully aware I am not the prettiest. And at that, and now where I'm at, I don't care. I don't even want to be the prettiest. I want to own who the fuck I am, which is a mass monster. And if I can somehow, in the midst of it, develop a more pleasing look, then cool. But at this point, that's not what I'm chasing. I'm a freak, and I'm gonna stay that way.
And I think but I also like, as much as I do think you guys are, like you said, like the more complete. I also think you're the one like you're the one that's like the black sheep out of that group because out of that group, I mean, Andrew's wow factor, he's just big, but he's like tall. So somebody that tall,
So
you expect to be that big, right?
here's the thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you were there. Andrew made significant improvement. Significant.
Wild.
I still think he's weak from the back.
Weak as
Lower
far as
half. I think his
with it.
back is
Okay,
improved. I'm talking his lower half.
like crispy wise,
And I don't think
or
his conditioning is still where it needs. I don't think his conditioning is still where it needs to be at all.
if he can take the package that he has and tighten it up,
Yeah.
that would be really crazy and
He's
dangerous.
fighting for the title. He'll be fighting for the title.
Yes.
I can see that. He'll be fighting for the title. I'm
Now it's
fully aware.
it. Now if you, Hottie, and him call out, talk about a wild call out. That would be.
Well, that was like the Arnold, bro. You know, it was me, Samson, and Andrew. It was like, oh, well, that's awkward.
That was where
Like you
everybody thought
got
it was
two,
either going to
you
be.
got two big giants, and then this fucking dwarf. You know,
That's what everybody thought it was going to be. You were going to be one or three, one or three, one or three.
and I told you that's what I said. Like when me and Matt
Yeah.
went back to the hotel, I said, "Look, bro, yeah, I'm winning or I'm third. Like that's just the way
Yeah.
this is gonna go."
I thought
You
that
know,
too.
and
I thought you.
he he agreed with that. So I mean, obviously, so like when they called Andrew for third, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then they're like, "Nick second." I'm like, "Well, that's not how I pictured that."
Do you get
Like,
like in that moment? Do you get like mad, or was it more upset, frustrated, or like pissed off?
so I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever got like mad at losing a show. I think I actually get upset more than anything. But in the moment, it was more of a shock because I don't even want to say like I expected to win, but based off
Yeah.
how I thought the show was gonna go when they called Andrew for third, at that moment I was like, I won, like I'm gonna win. And then when they called me for second, then I was like, well, no shit. Like, dang, okay. But then when I got back to the hotel, yeah, I was upset. I never, I can firmly say I never lost a show. It was like mad. I always would just like get emotional about it because I'd be like, for me, I guess I'm just like, I don't know I don't know what I did wrong. You know, like what happened. You know.
Well, I think you probably convinced yourself so much that it was either first or third. That as soon as Andrew got third, the thought of you getting second probably wasn't even in your head.
There wasn't. You know what? You know what's fucked up too, and this is another thing I'm trying to learn to put in perspective. Like I won an Arnold and got second at an Arnold. That alone is like a crazy fucking accomplishment. But because of, and this is where I'll bring social media back into it, because of the world we live in, getting second at the Arnold is like the biggest fucking disappointment ever. You know what I mean? So now that shit sinks in your head, like, fuck, I just lost the Arnold. I got second. Like, it's the end of the world. Meanwhile, it's like, bro, you got second. Like, at the second biggest show, I think you're good, bro. Granted, yes, do I think I should have won that? I will say that and take that to the grave. But in another aspect, it's like, bro, you got second. Like, that's good.
It's not the end of the world.
You know, it's not like I went to the Arnold and got last. You know, it's like you got second, bro. Like, I think you're all right.
So what is the real reason why you think a lot of people don't have you in the top 5? Is it just because you're not pretty? Like, what is that the reason? Because we didn't really get to the meat of that.
I'll give my true what I truly believe. I think because obviously they didn't see me in Olympia last year, right? They saw the photos, of course, but they didn't actually see me in the show. So they're all like, we don't know how he looks. And you know, when I did New York, obviously nobody thought that was my best look. They, you know, word was it was a very underwhelming physique, which in my opinion, like I had stomach issues. I have some digestion shit going on that, you know, did make me a little bloated. That, you know, obviously we couldn't figure it out in the moment, obviously, but we addressed and figured it out what it was after, and you know, now I'm pretty much good. But it's like that wasn't if that was really that underwhelming, it's like I still fucking won, bro. You know, like it is, you know what I'm saying? But now. But I think now that they saw that, you know, they see the progress, you know, Andrew made. You got Samson posting his back now. You got Derek posting in the best lighting as possible. You got Hottie, you know, being Hottie. Hottie never looks fucking bad. And they're probably like, you know, these guys are gonna pass him. Like, but I'm also not really posting my physique that much right now.
Now you normally post updates constantly, like weekly.
I do
leading up to the. So is there a reason you're doing it now? As opposed
I'm
to
trying
the way it was
something
last year?
different, and I kind of want to lay low a little bit,
Sneak attack.
and I want to just shut. I want to just shock everybody. I'll probably post some gym. I always will post like some gym shit here and there. I might throw some sneak peeks, yada yada yada. But like as far as like a full body check-in, you know, in my undies and stuff, I probably won't really post many of those, you know.
I never did updates until I was like older, like later on in my career. But like even when social media first started, like the first 5-6 years, I never posted progress pictures.
Really?
Back then it was like,
well, it wasn't a thing.
Well, what was happening was you would get a lot of guys that the guys that always posted the most updates and they would always get all the hype because they looked so fucking good would be the guys that were getting their ass kicked at the show because they looked so good in a picture.
That's what I'm saying. And then they'd show up to the show and lose.
Yes. So like it's in my head, I became, well, all the guys that are posting their progress pictures are getting their ass kicked. So how about I don't post any and I'll just show up and hopefully people go, wow. So that's why.
Did that ever happen?
7 times.
Did people go wow for you guys?
They went wowie, wow, wow. I know that this podcast is brought to you by Merrick Health. Now, I just started work with Merrick about 3 months ago. And you guys know I retired about 3 years ago. And I really wanted to optimize my health. Now, that's unfortunately something that I should have done during my bodybuilding career. But I started work with them a little late. And now being that I am running, boxing, doing more physical activity rather than just working out every day, optimizing my health is one of the things that is on the forefront of my day-to-day, making sure that my 2 feet stay on this earth as long as possible. So go check out Merrick Health. Click the link in the description right here. Get your blood work done. Get on the phone with one of their health coaches and check out their health optimization programs that they have. Again, Merrick Health, check them out. Optimize your health right now and be the best healthiest version of yourself.
But no,
I
like
had, I had, go, go,
Go ahead.
go, go,
Go.
go, go,
Go.
go,
Green light for you
go,
guys. I give you the green light.
go.
Give me the green
I'm
light.
the older guy here.
Yeah, so go.
Go.
Respect the elders,
You have-
bastard.
Don't fucking throw the old card at me.
You threw it.
No, I said I had, there was a few shows where I walked out and fucking hit shots and wows came out.
And that
know?
was when you didn't post, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Like I said,
Because
I will post.
people haven't.
Go ahead, guy.
I've done, dude. I haven't interrupted you that much this time. I let you go for fucking.
I know.
Thing I was gonna say.
Well, because now you let me go on a roll, bro. Now I can't shut up.
Now I can't get a word in. I can't get a fucking word
Yeah.
in.
Before you don't say shit. Now you won't shut the fuck up.
Because when you're posting, people already have a preconceived idea of what you're gonna look like. And if you don't post anything, or let's say stop posting 6 weeks out, then they go, then they almost sometimes forget you're even doing it because they're like, oh, I haven't seen him post anything in a while.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm cool with it because I've always shown up and did my job. You know, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So what did you think about the Texas Pro this past weekend? Because I was there in person. And I mean, Andrew looked wild.
Like the show itself for the competitors, I think the show looks incredible.
Oh, do Freddie and Sheila Brown do a Freddie Mac, Sheila Brown?
Freddie kills it. I love Freddie.
Insane.
As far as competitors, I mean, obviously take Andrew out of it because Andrew was Andrew, and I'm proud of him. I was very impressed with Jordan.
Yeah.
I think Jordan is slowly but surely making a name for himself. So
I will say this, and obviously, Jordan being like a open guy from Jump Street, I think people kind of thought he was going to be, up there with Andrew, but man, like Nathan coming from the 212
Nathan
and being
killed
an
it
open
too.
guy, he looked fucking great.
He set the tone for himself too this year.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's an uprising athlete. I think he's fucking phenomenal. But like Nathan, because he was a 212 guy, and then he's standing up there in third place next to Andrew. Like to me, I was like, wow, that's fucking like that's impressive.
I agree.
And I even think like I even think that I'll even go on and say I think Nathan had the best conditioning of anybody in the show.
Yeah, you think better than Jordan?
Yeah.
You were there, so you were there.
I even told Jordan backstage that I thought Nathan, from especially the waist down, was a tad harder, but Jordan was bigger and Jordan was peeled. Nathan, I was just a little more crisp in the ham and glutes, but Jordan was, was bigger, and Jordan's thickness with his great conditioning, was more than Nathan, who's a little smaller with great conditioning.
I even told Jordan that I liked Nathan's back better than his. From the pictures, I just felt like
you like Nathan's back better than Jordan?
Yes, I thought Nathan had a better back double for sure. And I just told I told Jordan, I'm like, one point you need to work on is your back. Like primarily, I think that needs to be a very big focus for you. So I said from the front, I think he looks great. I think his quads are big. From the back, I think he just needs a bigger back and he needs bigger hamstrings.
Yeah. I think he was a tad flat at
Jordan.
the show, yeah. And I think I do agree with you. I think those areas do need to come up. However, I also do believe that he was just a tad like I think
flat.
I think a tad flat on him. I think when he goes flat, I think it's his back that goes on him because everything else on him, his chest, his abs, his hamstrings, his glutes, his quads, like that was all there. But then when he hit a
Right.
back double, like obviously he needs work, but there's thickness there, and it just when he
Yeah,
hits
yeah.
there's that pop. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
get it.
why I told him, I was like, I know Tuttle doesn't like dirty food. I said, I would just love to see if you like,
Burger
I
and
said after the
fries.
show, I said, go get a burger and fries and go to bed and send me a back double bicep tomorrow morning. But some coaches think
I
that's too big of a
agree.
gamble, which I understand. But
It can be, but it cannot be, right? So
yeah, like don't you agree that sometimes in order to carve somebody up that has a super fast metabolism, you have to throw
dirty
in a
food, he didn't
little
need it.
dirty food. Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard to carve up on only fucking plain rice and plain potatoes. Like your body
It
will
is.
sometimes like,
I will say Matt is not big on the dirty food for carb up, just for digestion purpose. But there was the New York Pro, the first one I won. We did, before bed, we did do like a Chick-fil-A with cookies before I went to bed, though, because I was
yeah.
having a hard time filling back out. But normally he's not big on it, but he will if he feels it fits the purpose.
Well, then what happens if you're eating all that clean food, right? The amount of food you have to push, and then you're talking you're potentially running into GI issues right before a show, and then if you start
Right.
getting fucking GI issues, now you're going to be stressed. So
Fuck.
now you have GI issues mixed with stress,
And
and
you're
it's a
stressed.
fucking disaster, dude.
Fuck.
So,
I know.
um, should we have Jeremy Buendia on our podcast?
I mean, we might as well now, since he was supposed to come on anyway.
I actually
Uh,
talked to him today. He said he'd come on next Thursday.
let's have him on then.
Dude, can you believe that?
That's
So for everybody that doesn't know,
no,
can
that's
like,
fucked up,
dude,
bro.
when I called you, I was a 10 out of 10. I was fucking pissed.
I know. I was like in the gym with loud music, and then you're screaming, and I couldn't even really understand you, and I'm like, fuck. But I knew what you were yelling about. Obviously, I read the text, but I'm like, what kind of that's some like scam shit, bro. Like that is some dirtbag shit.
So, dude, I'm working out when all of a sudden Jeremy texted me. He was like, "Hey, bro, podcast tonight?" Question mark. And I was like, "Fuck, did he ask me to be on his podcast? Did I forget?" I was like, "I'm such a fucking idiot."
I think it's
And I
funny
was
that
like, "My
you said you
podcaster."
forgot he asked you were supposed to go on his.
I thought that's what I was like. Fuck, I
I
forgot.
don't
I'm an
even think
idiot.
Jeremy has one, bro.
Oh, well, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, I'm so stupid. I forgot. Fuck it. He asked me. I was like, I forget
Yeah.
everything. So I was like, I texted him. I was like, my podcast or yours? Because I'm like, it's Wednesday. Like, Nick and I don't have a podcast. So then he calls me and he was like, bro, that wasn't you. And I was like, what? He's like, that wasn't you. I said, Jeremy, I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. And he goes, man, I got fucking somebody that reached out to me like last week and said that they were your assistant and they were scheduling me for Mutant in the Mouth and they were going to pay me $2,000 to come on your podcast. And then I did a Zoom call with them and I was like, oh, great. So we did a Zoom call. I'm like, what, fucking go back to it and
What does
send
he
me the
look like?
video. He goes, oh, the video was turned off. I was like, Jeremy, I go, you
Oh, it's an
didn't think to
audio.
call me. Yeah.
Who
So,
does he think he was
but
talking to?
But dude, he said they were asking him questions, telling him things they were going to go over on the podcast, questions I was going to ask, take pretend like they were taking notes about like things that they were
Who
going to give
goes
me to
through
follow up.
all that?
Bro, that's a
Like that's
lot.
a lot of time.
So then what they
Like you
did
must be
was
bored.
so then the day of the podcast, they said that they had to link his Facebook to ours in order to do the Facebook Live. So in order to do that, they requested the passwords for his Facebook that
Oh,
which Jeremy's assistant gave to the guy, and then they went into his Facebook and removed them as admins and put themselves and took over his Facebook.
that's horrible.
That's why I was like, I gotta post this now. Cause the amount of people, and then I heard it happened to Flex, Joey Stacks, Rob Deerdeck put out a PSA about it. All these people were telling me it's happened to them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Could you
That's
imagine your whole entire day
Well, now
is
it's like
dedicated?
I even get a lot of emails about being on, people's podcasts, and I never respond. So now I'm like, is this shit fake or what?
Definitely not responding. Dude, I don't,
No,
it's,
now I'm not.
isn't it amazing the amount of time and effort these people will put into a fucking pod, like into
They
scamming somebody
truly
rather?
take their time.
It's insane, dude.
That shit was fully planned.
Like they knew like about our podcast and like what we talked. It was like, I'm like, man, these guys like they studied us.
They definitely like our podcast.
It's just crazy how out of everybody they went after Jeremy.
I
Maybe
know
because
it's
he's got like a
random.
huge following and we both follow him.
It's
I don't
random
know.
though. Like
And
Jeremy. It's
Jeremy's been
random.
on my pod. Jeremy was on, so I had a podcast when I was with MFit with the guy Nick Karolakis, and we had a podcast, and Jeremy was on that I think twice. So like I've talked to Jeremy on the phone when I wanted him on my podcast before, which is why I was like, oh boy, I felt horrible, even though I did nothing wrong,
Oh,
because
I do
it
too,
looked
because
like
it's our name, you know.
yeah. But like we
So
really did nothing. Like we got scammed just as much as he did, right? Because like they fucking
for
made
sure,
it seem like it was us. And then
that's good.
we have big
They're
news.
they're fucking
Big
good.
news.
What?
Big news. What happened this past Saturday?
That's past Saturday.
Yeah, what happened this past Saturday?
Oh yeah, the release. Uprising shots.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna give myself a little plug. So my company, or mine and Mark Matthews' company, Uprising. This is the rebrand. It was Uprising Extracts. This is the new brand now. Every single one. This is the Tropical Punch. This is 75 mgs. So every serving is 25. Each bottle now comes in a box. Everything is legible. All the ingredients, everything that's in here. And then now it comes instead of like this would be considered as a mid 45 shot. Okay, this is the normal shots. Now they come like this. So if this is 3 servings, try not to hit my microphone. We were having people in the beginning dump the liquid, they would dump it into the cap, and that would be a serving. So now with the tincture, you can just measure it out like that, and it has the servings right on it. So this was really cool for Mark and myself to finally release this after joining forces with Mid 45. So it was a pretty cool full circle moment, because that released on the same day that I retired 3 years later while I was at the show.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That's cool.
Mm.
Like funky how that
So
worked out, eh?
yeah, but the other news, you want to give us a little house tour? You
Not right
moved. Tell
now.
everybody. Tell
Yeah,
everybody.
I got a new house. I actually posted a tour on my
Face
YouTube,
looks
but
a little
yeah,
red.
I bought, not rent, official bought a house in Florida. So very nice neighborhood, very quiet, very family oriented.
When are you gonna do it like an MTV tour? Are you gonna bring your cameraman over and do one?
We did one already. It's on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
I just released it today.
Oh shit. Okay. So go to Nick Walker's YouTube channel and watch his house tour.
Check out that house tour.
House tour. How many beds, baths, square foot? Give the people listening some insight.
3 bedroom, 2 bath. Obviously this is one of the bedrooms, but it's like an office area, obviously.
Yeah.
Nice view of the lake in the backyard, laundry room, a garage,
Two
a
car,
nice living room area. Huh?
2 car garage or one?
I'd say one. I could probably fit it. I mean, yeah, probably one.
Is it 2 doors? Is it 2 doors or 1 door?
One door.
If it's 1 door, it's usually 1 car.
Okay, yeah, one car. But it's pretty big though.
Unless it's like a monster door.
It is pretty big. I don't think I could fit both cars in, but it's pretty big size.
I'm gonna go to say if you don't think you can fit 2 cars, it's probably 1 car.
Yeah, let's just say one car.
It's good. No pool, right?
No, no pool, no pool.
Okay. You jump in the lake.
Yes, you can if you want. I don't know if there's alligators, so I'm not gonna make that attempt.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
you got them gators.
we got the gators, but it's a
Got
very
them
very nice
gators.
view. Gators.
Now is that in Port St. Lucie?
Yeah, yeah.
So how far are you now from the gym? Are you closer, further from where you were at the Airbnb?
I'm way closer. I'm way like that. When I was at the Airbnb, dude, I was like 40 minutes. I'm now like 10.
Now, do you have a lot of land? Do you have a lot or not really?
I mean, no, I have a good sized backyard for sure.
So you gotta cut your
But
grass.
I want, huh?
You gotta cut your grass.
Nah, bro. I got HOA, bro. I'm good.
Oh, so wait, this is a townhouse?
No, it's a house, but there's HOA for this neighborhood.
Oh, really? Is it a gated community?
No, which is weird.
Huh.
But there's a little bit. So
But
I had
they do
people
that a
come in.
lot.
Yeah. Like I just had somebody, what's today? I think yesterday or Tuesday, they were mowing my lawn.
Yeah, that's a big Florida thing. Like you guys have like a lot of these like little, just like communities like in a big development, and then they have an HOA for that. They don't do
Yeah.
that in Jersey, I don't think, unless it's like a gated community.
Yeah, it's usually gated, right?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
So you don't have to. So
This
all
one,
your so they plow everything. They do all the yard work and fucking straighten it up. That's I mean,
yeah.
dude, I was outside from 1 to 5 o'clock today doing fucking yard work. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I think I'll pass.
You know what? I don't mind it, dude.
I know you don't. You love that shit. That was never like my
Yeah.
thing though, you know.
I like complaining
You
about
like
it
to be
just because
outside and mow the lawn and plant your gardens and shit. I was never my forte.
yeah, but I only owned this house for 7 years. So, when I was 30, 35? And that's when I started
Yeah.
gardening. I think once you get older, you'll find yourself doing more older man shit.
Oh,
But
I'm sure I will. I don't have a doubt.
do
So,
you know how to change the tire
but
yet?
right now, you know,
Is that a yes or a no? Tell
that's
the
fuck
audience.
off, buddy. That's a fuck
Tell
off,
the audience.
buddy.
Tell the audience that if your tire blew, you could change it.
Let's say no. Fuck off.
You want to know why? I never knew that. The day I found that out, when we were at the fucking, it was not the New York Pro. We were at the one you was at Atlantic Stage. You guys posted that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, guy, I don't know how to do laundry or change a tire, fuck, let alone doing something. We were talking about something else. I was like, stop. You're like, no clue.
No,
I
I
was
don't,
like,
bro. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
no changing the
Wow.
tires
Okay.
like a no go.
So you wouldn't even know the first thing you're supposed to do to change the tire. Hey, we're gonna have to have some big brother time together.
I would pretty much take a risk and try and drive to the closest repair shop. and just like, I need
I'm
to
gonna give you the
retire.
best piece of advice anybody's ever given you. Sign up for AAA.
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah. I think I had AAA
I
actually.
have it. I have it, but if you're unsure of like how to do that stuff, I have it, and it's a lifesaver in situations that like you just don't want to fucking have to do yourself. So
Yeah.
I use them. I've gotten towed before. You get fucking it's worth it. So
Well, AAA is
um
awesome. I love AAA.
that's worldwide. That's not just a Northeast thing, right?
Oh, that's worldwide. Yeah.
So you're what, 8 weeks out now?
Tomorrow. Yeah. 8 weeks tomorrow.
Now, do you shut down shop as far as traveling goes? Like, is it 10 weeks, 12 weeks, or is this about where you'll stop fucking going anywhere?
Oh yeah, I'm not going anywhere right now for sure.
Yeah. So just Groundhog's Day from now till the show day?
Yeah. Locked it down. I'm full. This is the last day. To me, this is when like, the changes happen daily. This is when the fun really starts to kick in. So I stay local and keep doing what I'm doing. So
Does this seem like, are you more focused, do you think, because Matt's closer and you have that eye right around the corner?
yeah,
And there's no
hundred
guessing
percent.
now? There's no like sending Matt pictures going, well, maybe it was the picture. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
no, there's no bullshit. He'll look at me, he'll give me his true thought and say, okay, this is what we're doing. So
No. And you guys kind of know each other and how each other works. So you guys kind of are on the same page, like pretty fucking
oh,
often.
I would say now with how long we've been together, how well we know each other, I can when I send him a check-in, I think 9 times out of 10, I can know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Food wise, I know what move, whether like I'll know if he'll give me a high day, I'll know if he'll just say keep riding it out, I'll know if he'll drop food. Like I can pinpoint that.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome that like I'm able to like, because it lets me know like my judgment's right as well.
Well, and it makes you a better coach too when you understand stuff like that. And I think a lot of times athletes don't understand why their coach does something. And like anytime Chris ever did something that I just did, it wasn't an obvious answer to me. I would say, "Can I ask why you changed that?" And he would give me an answer
Yeah.
because one of the things that
But yeah, that's
Chris
the way
taught
Matt
me,
does.
yeah, one of the things Chris taught me early on in my career was that if you ask your coach a question and they can't give you an answer, then they shouldn't be your coach.
I agree. Like there isn't
So
anything
if anytime I had it,
whenever I ask Matt something, there's always a reason, a rhyme or reason for it, no matter what.
yeah,
Like
bro.
even like for example, yesterday when I sent him check-ins, I said when I sent them to him, I said to myself, he's either going to tell me to write it out and we'll see where we're at Friday, or he's going to drop the food, and he dropped food.
Now,
So I
where's your
I knew
cardio?
I knew
Where's your cardio at?
cardio is 30 minutes
That's it.
a day. Yeah.
Oh,
See
you
what he's
breezing
trying
through,
to
son.
do. What he's trying to do, and it worked for New York to a degree, I believe, but he kind of doesn't want to push cardio too high. He wants to like really teeter with the food a little more because he doesn't want my legs to go like soft from cardio. So he wants to, obviously, if we need to push it up, he will, but he wants to teeter totter the food a little bit like harder than we usually have in the past and kind of leave cardio where it's at and see how that goes.
I was going to say something similar. I was going to say, I think he's not blasting you down or like pushing you down because if he brings you down slow, he doesn't have to blast you back up to fill you out.
Exactly. Yeah, no, agreed.
That's what I was going to say. Because a
Yeah,
lot of times blasting you full, I think is what you had to do at New York, and it's because you pulled down, then you came up. So if you don't have to go like this and then like that, and you just go
Yeah.
like this and then like that, then there's less
It'll
of a
make-
differential in between the gaps.
Easier carb up, easier.
I never worked with Matt. I always wondered what it'd be like if I worked with Matt, you know, for a show when I was competing. You know, he was
I
just
think
getting in his groove when I was competing.
dude, I love it. I think he's great, man. I truly do. You know, he's the only one I truly trust. I mean, and I think that's, you know, pretty much known at this point, but I trust his judgment. And I also I said this before, I think what makes me and him great together is even when I give him a feedback on something, he listens, he considers it, and we talk about it together. You know, he's not just his way or the highway, you know. It's
yeah.
He'll take the feedback and, you know, think it over, and then we talk about it, you know. So
Does Matt still take on clients, or he just has his group? Because I know he's very successful in other avenues. He doesn't need clients. Or does he
honestly,
do
that
this?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he
Okay,
does or
I'm just
doesn't.
wondering.
So yeah, I'm not like 100% sure.
Do you think Matt has the not intention if he wants to? Do you think he has the ability to be a guy down the road that's like a Hani or a Chris, that's like one of the older guys that just is like crushing it with competitors, like the way Hani does and
Yeah,
Lucido and like
I
those
think Matt
guys?
will get to a point where, you know, obviously he'll just have his handful of guys and just and ride it out, you know.
He has Olympias with Sean, and that's
Yes.
it.
Yes, he does not have an open one yet, and that's obviously my goal.
Who do you think, if in your eyes, are it not, it doesn't have to be now, who are the top three best bodybuilding coaches of all time?
Top three.
It doesn't have to be in order, no order. Like, who do you think are the three best bodybuilding coaches to ever live?
If I had to go like overall,
And what else would you go?
and this is based off what I also know of each coach individual.
But this is also your opinion. This doesn't have to be off of wins
Yeah,
either.
I would say Matt, obviously, just because I think even outside of me, I think what he has done is absolutely great. I would pick Hani.
So you're saying overall, like in all the sport,
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yes, I would pick Matt, Hani, and Chris.
Okay. Not Chad or George.
I would not know.
Okay.
No.
Who else was there? Chad, George. Well, you got Milos. You Thackeray,
See, and I think those coaches are great too, but I think
Neil.
Neil's great. Neil is great. They're all great, but like if I had for me, if I had to narrow down like the top three for me, those would be the top three.
Yeah, Hani Chris would be definitely my top two. I don't know. I don't know if I would pick Matt, only because he's been doing it for a good amount of years, but he hasn't been doing it that long, like 30, 40 years. So when you have a record, but Matt is one of the best
But I
right now.
also think I as I agree with you, I also think he doesn't miss.
I don't know.
All his guys have always been on point.
Who are some of his athletes, that I might not know of? Because you know me, I'm delusional.
I mean, I really don't know. I obviously like the head honcho guys are me,
You, Sean.
Sean, Brett, Justin. He Charles Griffin.
Yeah, I know those.
I
thought there was maybe some
I
just didn't know like that. I'd be like, oh fuck.
Honestly, I'm probably drawing a blank on a couple, but those are the top that come to my head.
Who do you think out of those guys, besides Sean, that is or with Matt have the most potential?
Me.
Besides you, you dope.
You said besides Sean.
Yeah, and obviously I meant I didn't think I had a breakfast with you.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. Be
Because those are all
specific, my
real
guy.
talented. Those are all real talented individuals he has.
It's I think Brett has great potential.
Yeah.
I think he's actually, now that I kind of see him in person, I think, he's being the underdog here, but I think he looks really fucking good. Like,
Brett is
he looks
Brett
really
is
fucking
so
good.
round. He's what
Yeah,
he's that's one round white boy. He's round.
he's. I'm very impressed, and I think when he competes, and I think what 6 weeks, I think it's gonna be good. I mean, I'm actually excited to see it.
What do you think he needs to work on the most, or that he should have been working on getting ready, prior to this show?
I think he's improved, almost everything. I mean, his legs look bigger. I think his back looks bigger. His chest looks fuller. Um, I mean,
If
honestly,
he's
dude,
at a if Brett's at 100, where's he place at the O? 6 to 8,
I can see, I could see, I can see him in the top 10. I don't know
top
exactly
10,
where. I'd say I would. I don't know. I don't know about six. I don't know. I could see him, 7, 8,
8 to
9, 10
10.
range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But then you got Hunter, who's getting ready for Italy, who,
Yes.
I mean, that's like an all eggs in one basket, right? Because he
I'll
has
I'll
to.
say this with Hunter, and I think Hunter would even agree. If Hunter comes in peeled, Hunter is very, very good. But we have never seen a peeled all out Hunter yet. So I think that's kind of what we're all waiting for. But I think if Hunter truly nails that conditioning, I think that's a great package, and I think that's one to look out for.
Hunter's very impressive. Hunter's fucking big, dude. I don't think people
Oh,
realize, like, in Hunter's reels, he looks like, oh, he's big. But in
no, he's
person,
big.
Hunter is
Yeah,
fucking big. He's
no,
a
he's big.
big fucking dude, man. You
He's a,
know?
he's a big old.
Um, yeah, so this is your what now? Third Olympia?
Well, I mean, could have been
Third,
fourth, but
third competing in.
yeah, sadly.
You win an Olympia, you might go down in history as one of the Derek's is pretty impressive. But you might go
Derek's
down in
is
history.
impressive.
You might go down in one of the history, one of the most impressive records for a least amount of shows done. Meaning, like, because you
Yeah,
only went, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
yeah. I've done the least amount. Like let's see. I've done Chicago. I've
You took
done two Arnolds.
fifth, so
I've
fifth, first,
done
second.
and I've done two New Yorks and two Olympias.
So fifth, first, second,
Fourth,
first.
fourth.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't jip me, motherfucker.
Fourth. What was the second one?
So okay, I'll go in order. Chicago was fourth. New York was
Fourth.
first. Ar- what do you? What's fourth? What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, let me restart. You fucked me up. You saying
I
numbers?
didn't say a word. I'm just counting.
Chicago fourth. New York was number one. The Arnold was one. The Olympia was fifth. Um, and then they did that. I didn't compete for the whole year, and I did the Olympia again. That was third. The Arnold, I took second, and then New York was first.
So 7 shows, top 5 in them all, and a New York Pro and an Arnold victory in that.
And people still count me out, motherfucker.
Underdog is better, dude.
I prefer the underdog mentality.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good. After seeing Andrew up there, it's going to be an exciting Olympia. And if everybody comes in fucking 100, it's going to be crazy. But
I
there's
think
always
this
that
year will
if
be more-
factor.
Well, yeah, I think this year will be more competitive than last year.
It has to be. I just hope it's not a letdown where we're all waiting for everybody to show up at 100 because there's been years where everybody's like, this is going to be a fucking hard battle this year. Like, can't wait. And then everybody shows up and you're like,
Looking soft, boy.
there was one year that Phil competed where he like was a little off, and like they even said that he left the door open, and everybody missed their mark. Everybody,
Yeah, no, I remember that.
So it's like I don't want it to be one
Hey.
of those years because I really want to see a fucking a good fought battle up there.
No,
Makes it
I
fun.
have a feeling it'll be good because like I know for example, I'm taking this one very personal. I know Hottie's angry. I know Samson's angry. I know Hunter has his mind right. Andrew obviously is in his zone. So I truly believe it's people have a little chip on their shoulder for this one.
Gonna be excited, man. 8 more weeks as of tomorrow. It'll be inside 8 weeks once this drops on Monday. So
I am right.
well, we got a guest on for next week. We got Jeremy Buendia because apparently my fake assistant scheduled them. So we said,
Yeah,
fuck
we
it.
we,
Have them
we
on.
scheduled them already, so we might as well just
Yeah.
stay true to it.
Yeah. Fucking thanks to my fake virtual assistant for getting him on. Shout out to fucking you, bro.
Thank you.
So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a lot more to talk about. A lot of cool things happening that you guys will find out in the next podcast. So like, comment, subscribe. Mutant in the mouth. We are out. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye now.